Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dylan, and today I want to talk about a bit of a sleeper lens. And Sigma made it all the way back in 2015. Let's get into it.
You are now watching lighthunter.d.
So, a bit of a different shot today. Uh, Obviously, just talking head, but usually I'm using this lens to film all the videos on this channel, which is not a crazy shot. But today, instead, we are on the Thypoch 35mm Samara, basically so that I can talk about this guy. Now, this was a flagship statement lens by Sigma back in 2015. I know they recently released the 28 to 45 millimeter, the f1.8, which is basically the successor to this lens. Some might argue that the 24 millimeters is more useful on the wide end, probably especially video shooters that are dealing with crops or want a wider field of view. So for me, someone that doesn't do a ton of video work, I do have this in a little kit I've made. It's kind of a pseudo cinema set for me. One of them being this, which is the 24 to 35. I also have the 58 millimeter f2 Pearl River and the Sigma 135 millimeter art. I have an adapter on the Pearl River, so they're all 82 millimeters, and then I can use a variable ND with mist, and that kind of covers all that for me. If I'm ever to do video work or anything on this channel, will likely be from that stuff. Again, not that I'm some video pro. All right, so we're gonna blast through some of the specs really quick, just because this usually gets boring to hear. But it is 18 elements and 13 groups, so a ton of glass in there. 940 grams, so 33.2 ounces. So you're looking at 2 pounds of a lens plus the adapter for me. But one of the more interesting things of it is the close focusing distance, which you'll see in some of the samples that I use it a lot for detail shots, but it's versatile enough to be walking around shooting 35 millimeter or 24, and then getting close, without swapping lenses. So one of the main things for this being peak value right now, at least in my experience, these can be had for, I'd say, anywhere from 400 to maybe at the high end like 600. I got mine for around 400, and it's the Nikon F mount, which tend to be cheaper, not quite as adaptable as EF. But even just browsing eBay before this video, I mean, I saw they're still around that price point and they're still very accessible. You are essentially getting 3 primes in one: 24, 28, 35. And speaking of that, I will show some quick examples of my cat here, Jack, of the different fields of view. So obviously the zoom range is fairly small. 24 to 35 is nothing crazy. But it is useful, and it's kind of a way, especially in video, like when I'm doing these videos, usually for the talking head stuff. It's a quick way to crop optically. Say you're on the field using it in some way, and you can't step back further, you can kind of crop out to 24. Is how I use it. I'm typically at 35, and then I would get out if I need more context, or if it's too tight of a space. And I've officially used this for paid gigs, travel, just kind of like a around the house test shot kind of thing, and then just out at like events. I would say this is a bit too big to be like an EDC lens. You certainly could, but it's more, to me, it's kind of you're going out with intent, and you're going to use it for something specifically. But it is optically fantastic. It is extremely sharp. I'll show some examples. These aren't incredible images necessarily, but just how sharp it is and how it can be used in different environments. And as I said before, this pairs, I think, beautifully with the 135 millimeter Sigma art. I used it recently for a gig, and it worked out very well. It covers most of what I would need on about. I haven't shot like weddings or anything with it yet, but I think it would do well there as well. And then specifically for my setup, using a first gen Z7, you can still punch in, which the photo of my dog Harvey is actually at 50 millimeter field of view. So that's a crop on this lens, and it still looks very nice. There's still good separation, and you can kind of say you have 24 to 50 if you are on a high res sensor. Now, obviously, that's with a digital crop, so you know, the limitations of that and what that entails. Now, I could also see an 85, like a fast 85 being paired with this, also for events. I think that'd be a fantastic kit. And if you were really, you know, willing to dual wield some pretty heavy lenses of 70 to 200 on with, you know, on another body, would also be a fantastic pairing with this. So it's certainly not a one and done lens necessarily, but it is fantastic. And you know, like I said, I got mine for around 400 and the Sigma 135 for around 800. So while there are certainly other cheaper options, you know, between the two, you can have a killer kit, one adapter, and in my case, the Nikon Z7. And that's a very, very capable, like I probably wouldn't need anything else, but I'm a big fan of Thypoch and want to use their lenses, I guess for fun more so. So I have kits for different needs or how I want to segment things, I guess. And the 24 to 35 is a key part of any work I want to do. Any paid work, any, I guess, more serious work, something I would use it for. Now, for better or worse, this channel is still pretty small. I'm not trying to make gear moon on eBay or anything like that. But if you found your way to this video, I do hope this is useful. Maybe check out some of the old reviews. You know, reviewers were very excited about this lens, and then it seemed to die out very quickly. So this is a lens that used to be, I mean, it still is a flagship in my mind, but it used to be one of their flagship lenses. It's worth checking out. And it is a great lens, so I can definitely still recommend the Sigma Art 24 to 35. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today. A pretty quick one discussing a sleeper lens that I think more people should know about. As always, if you'd like to follow me on Threads, support the channel on Gumroad, all that will be linked below. And that's going to be it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Later.